Well, about 10 years ago, when young Stevie Mussie transferred from Pacific to the University of Washington, which was in her hometown, she filled out a questionnaire for the media guide there that the Huskies had. And in it, it said dream job. And for her, she wrote, own a clothing store or a real estate agency. Today, she's the new Arizona State women's volleyball coach. So I guess you gave up on the clothing and real estate part.
If you saw my closet, you would actually think that I do own a clothing store. But the real estate part is definitely out of the picture at the moment.
So I understand you could use one because you have yet to find a place to live yet in Tempe. And
It's funny, I'm making my parents find it for me. So they're in the process of finding me a place to live.
I mean, we're doing this, and you haven't been there, what, a week? I mean, on the
Correct.
job for 3 or 4 days?
You got it. It's just been a whirlwind, and I wouldn't want to do this anywhere else.
Stevie got this job coming from 2 years as an assistant coach at Penn State under Russ Rose. And of course, you won a national championship as a player at the University of Washington. Those two experiences, I figure, had to factor in greatly towards you getting this job and having some idea of what you want to accomplish there.
Absolutely. I was really lucky as a player to play at Washington and had some great mentors, specifically Keno, who's now the head coach at Miami, has been a huge part in my development as a coach. And then to be even luckier to go on and work at Virginia with Dennis Hohenschelt and then along with Coach Rose at Penn State. I honestly couldn't have had a better experience. It was probably the hardest thing, but it was the greatest thing I'd ever done thus far.
When you spend a couple of years with Russ Rose, you have to learn quite a few things, and some of them are even about volleyball. What did you take out of that experience? Maybe a couple of the key things towards, what you hope will lead towards success in the new job.
Well, besides the cigar game has to be really strong. No, I'm just kidding. The most important thing I learned from coaches to do it for the players and to create a family atmosphere. And when it came to volleyball specifically, it was getting the right kids in the gym that were going to work hard. I think coach does a great job of recruiting at the highest level. That's why he's been successful. But he also does a really good job of allowing the players to grow as they are. So I think that's a big piece of it.
Arizona State was a program last year that would have been in the championship hunt had Macy Gardner not gotten hurt. Jason Watson takes the job at Arkansas, and we did one of these video chats with him, and he knows he left behind a really good program. So it's not like you're going in to rebuild, but on the other hand, you have to create the Stevie Mussie program, your approach, and recruiting's key. The roster's not as deep as it was during this past season. So if you would talk some about some of the challenges you have ahead.
I think Jason obviously did a great job. They were ranked as high as number 5 in the country last year. I think we're very different. The culture that I'm trying to create here is one of, number one, we want to recruit the best kids in the state. We want those kids to want to come to ASU. And then we want to go across the country and find the kids that are going to supplement and be great in this program. I think that's a big piece of this. And we want to find the right kids with a lot of energy that jump high and hit hard. The kids that are left here are fabulous. Being in the gym with them, I've been in the gym with them twice now, and I couldn't be more excited about what is ahead for them. They work hard. They're obviously very technically skilled. The biggest thing I'm asking of them right now is to cut loose and compete a little bit harder.
It's funny, that questionnaire I referred to from over a decade ago. On there, it says, your advice to young players. And I'm pretty sure it says on there, jump high and hit hard.
That has been my mantra. Whatever it is, if you're going to do it, go all out. I would rather my kids make the aggressive error and make the error that doesn't quite make sense, but they're going for it.
You're not naive to the Pac-12. I mean, you've got a lot of ground to cover up. I mean, just down the road, our friend Dave Rubio at the University of Arizona, that's a great rivalry. And then, of course, on the West Coast, all those great teams that, you have to compete with. It's a tough league, and you better be open for business every night.
It is arguably the toughest league in the conference. I think coming from the Big Ten, having the experience of the Pac-12 in my background, and then being able to kind of sparkle in some of the Big Ten that I've had in my life is going to be very key for this. In the Big Ten, it was a dogfight every night. As a player, I know it was a dogfight in this conference, and it's gotten even better. I think part of it is that we have to be able to compete all the time, night in and night out, and there won't be any matches that we take off.
I'll get you out of here on this. You've never been a head coach before, but you have a great resume. And, from talking to you, I can tell you have the confidence and the background for it. But you know that there are going to be people going, hey, she's never been a head coach before.
I wouldn't say this is the first time I've been doubted. This administration has put me in a position that is going to give us every opportunity to succeed. So I'm looking forward to kind of just putting our head down and grinding. It's not about the experience. It's about the right experience. I could be here forever. And then it would be, hey, when it started, I was 30 years old and I can have that story. So that's what I think is going to be really special here.
Well, good. And we'll remember that your first video interview was on destinationvolleyball.com.
Volleyball.
Hey, thanks so much, Stevie. It's great visiting with you, and we'll catch up again soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great weekend and appreciate you.